It should stop doing that about the time we come over the top of this hill. We start new feed. We start new feed. Hey, Lily. Okay. I think we're back for a minute. Maybe. We are on our way up to Jamie's.
Said that he'd be live this morning.
I have been all morning. Just we've been having a problem with the feed. What's wrong with him?
Playful.
Playing like a puppy.
Highly puppy.
Driving by here from the Snake Mountain right now. So good. See Jamie's house. Right there in the middle.
Chet.
Welcome back, youth. About 22 miles to Jamie's house. Your favorite tree. Welcome to Open.
Lily says that worldwide meditation is 7 p.m. in England, 11 a.m. for me in Seattle, East Coast of the afternoon. I'm all turned inside out, upside down.
fuzzy. That's a great horse.
Lily says had to find Katie this morning. She stayed out on her comfy perch, going.
Is she any better? Is she any better? Is she just laying out there being comfortable?
Usually an excited morning. Usually an excited morning greeter. Nope.
Sorry, dude.
Sonia asking if they could get Katniss
Ah,
on Messenger.
is Katniss there?
Yeah.
She was just asked.
She was just here.
She was just here. She has your contact. I hopefully you run into her. I'll tell her again. 'Cause I know she has your contact. She was waiting for you to get a hold of her. I sent you hers, but Messenger's a little weird if you don't know people. Sometimes it doesn't like you talking to people unless they give you permissions and shit like that. So we'll get you in touch. Y'all just keep missing each other by like 10 minutes and shit. See, that first one looks like a citadel around it with the turtles on top. They say there's more complete sculptures than what we found in Alvarado out here. But they've already been harvested. I'll probably never see them. I'm not even trying to look. I know what they look like. They're beautiful. I've seen a few. It's all just man-made bullshit when you break it down. I was supposed to turn. If I'd have known that, I would have gone. Oh well. Not much traffic up here. I'm gonna let this guy behind us go too. He's stepping up here. I'd go that route, but I'm not sure I can make that. Way it's the turtle.
Sandy is talking to Lily. I've been trying to join a worldwide water. It's 8 a.m. here, Seattle. would be early morning in Japan, maybe.
Nobody does anything early in the morning here. So there ain't nobody behind us. I didn't feel pressure getting up the hill. That was good. That's a nice little turtle climb. Time is
9:15.
We're gonna go on up to the community center for a minute. King's mom might not be up. I don't want to wake her up. We're here. We're the only ones here. Cool. You want to do me a favor?
No.
Try and get a hold of Jack. Dan.
No. Lily says runners. I think they're still talking to themselves.
Go to the back cave, might as well turn on this. Take it back home over in front of Gina's favorite tree. So then you get to see Kiffin freak out.
As we throw them in the kennel that we made last time. Done. Oh, Bucky, you're going back to your cage?
Yeah. Where'd my lighter go? Yeah, it's in my pocket. I must have stood up. I got the one that don't work in Jack. Lion yacht rolls, shakes. These driveways are fun out here. Reminds me of driving through the desert in Mike's place. So they got a little bit of sugar sand out there. I'm glad they ain't got any of that shit here going on. There you go. Oh, that's a pretty sight. Looks like we might have a planetary body rolling in. There's your tree. Yay. Oh my goodness. I think somebody wants to go out. He wants to say hey to Muncie and Khaki.
Chico. You're teeny. You can't make such threats. You're just small, Chico. Who are you to be making such threats? What the hell? You're just teeny.
Perfect.
Send down mixed signals, Chico.
Were you getting ready for work, Mike? Be safe, bro. Oh, hey, there's Jamie. I'm leaving his mom. What's up, young man?
Morning.
Good morning. Oh, man. No. Chico, stop. No. No. Stop. Stop. You're fine. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Ooh, it's
you.
chilly out there.
Uh-huh.
Brr.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ooh. Woo.
Get him. Get him.
Chile, Chico. It's Chile. It's Chile. Yeah, like I thought. We're about to meet people this weekend, and Jamie's going to be. Well, he'll come out in a little bit. We'll talk. It's cold out there. It's a little chillier up here than it is in Winslow. Whew. He went in to say his mom's fixing to take his brother down to, I think, Winslow somewhere. But, he's in there talking to her, getting her ready to go. But he'll be out soon. He done shaved his face and looks young. Makes me want to shave my face and look young. It's too goddamn cold. I like having a beard and mustache. It protects you from that cold wind, like a scarf.
Who's your stuffed puppy?
Hi. Good morning. Huh? Yes, ma'am. Okay. We'll be safe. Good to see you. It looks good. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you got it too. There's nothing like driving your own car around. Well, thank you.
Thank you for having us up here.
Chico, you did.
Putting up with little Kifferton, the fuzzy.
Kifferton, the one, the fuzz.
Chico, the instigator. Wanting to eat your kitties. I got hat hair this morning too.
Now what?
A
Now
little bit
what?
of bed
Look what
head,
you've done. Look what you've
a
done,
little bit of hat hair.
Chico.
It's cold out there.
Chico. You're just old. You're just an old fuck.
Chico, you're too damn excitable. Arf,
You're just an old fuck.
arf. He's upset I haven't officially told him good morning yet. Come here. Come here. He says he's very excited. There's so many familiar things to pee on over here. You little toe. He ain't putting up with no bullshit today.
Your shoe is spiking, Chico. It is.
Mhm.
It's spiking. Your shoe is spiking.
He's not wrong. I looked earlier, Chico.
Your shoe is spiking. Your shoe is spiking.
Like, nobody's giving me a proper amount of love.
Your shoe is spiking, Chico.
He knows there's a line right there where Kif can reach. He's like, I'm not going past that line.
No. You may try, but no.
He's smart. Look at him shaking. He's cold. Where's his sweater?
Arr.
Poor you.
Tell him. It's not your sweater.
Kifferton's upset. He's not getting the attention now. See how that goes? The constant battle between these two. Oh, Kifferton needs a little fucking tiny Tim hat. No, Chico.
He can't believe Chico has something on. Chico looks different. Chico looks different. I need to smell him. Does he smell different? Yeah.
Howdy.
Hey, guys. Yes, I'm in your house again. How's Chico? Keeping these guys straight?
Yeah, he's upset. He's guarding Kif's food.
Oh,
Good
let me make my way. It's good to see you guys again.
to see you too.
And been a rough patch. But we're over it now. My mom's happy. A lot of my happiness derives from my mom being happy. If she ain't right, I ain't right.
Tell him, Chico.
I said we're still doing live?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, wait.
Yep. Yeah, I was looking at the dog argument when you walked in.
Like I said, the internet's been out for about a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're gonna be laying fiber optic cables around here now. Who knows how long it's gonna take? And now I've been
Longer than what we got, I think.
Yeah, and I've been looking to get a new phone, but everything's timing with me.
I'm seeing flames in the next couple months, bro.
Well, I'm not.
Oh, I mean in the cities.
Oh yeah, oh. I've seen burning cities before. I've seen earthquakes. I've seen floods. I've seen everything this world has been through.
Did you see Detroit?
No.
They had a fucking water main break for like a lot of the city, and it got to be 3 foot of water and then froze solid with all those cars in it and shit. It looks like something out of the movies.
At this time, you know all this stuff that's happening, and for people like us, it's just time repeating itself.
Mm.
You listen to our story, same shit. I can right when you were telling me that, it's like that because that ground coming up, swelling of that water. Yeah,
there's more water under us than out here. That's a working model. I've got it's water with tea leaves in microgravity, and it starts spinning, and then it forms a tube in the middle, and the tea leaves come to the top, and it's just all water. And I'm all like, man, there's more water out there than anything, because that's the first couple of fucking atoms that are made out of the sun in the first place, the hydrogen, the oxygen, all that.
I think the simplest model is the one that guy, I don't know, I mean, we've known this already, is that when you freeze that water and you treat it with
the
that
magnet.
Yeah, well, not with the magnet. That could be part of it too, but just by using our magnets, here, how we affect things too, and that's how I think that's the simplest model, because magnify that to the whole earth, as a vessel of water, and how we're affecting it like that, not just by action, but by emanating this.
Exactly.
Yeah, and see that's
the language of the creator.
And that's why you hear I was specifically on that chapter about our history, about what we were saying to people, is that if we give in to that and we forget about what we were doing and why we're supposed to be doing it, the world is going to turn over. Well, think of it. Look at what we're doing. Yeah. The world is going to turn over.
We did. And we are, absolutely.
And why do we say that? Because it's always done that before.
Absolutely. And I can pinpoint geologically how that happened. The Cretaceous boundary, they call it, where all molecules were bigger and then they got smaller. Pretty much all of life. I mean, elephants used to be fucking basically woolly mammoths, and they shrunk because there's less energy coming in from this sun than the original sun.
What I find is that the technical language is precise, but also ours is too, and even predates the technical language.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So our and a lot of things have been lost too. Even looking at some of the critical analysis that the anthropological studies and these PhD people put through here, they can dress it as much as they want. But still, we're still doing things that are actively involved in the maintaining of the balance. And with all that acuity and all that knowledge, why aren't they doing that?
Well, that's what I said last time I saw you. I said, I understand, dude. You need to get you and your people out your balance in the world, because we're on our side. Love you, bro. Because I don't know how to do that. I'm just shaking water still.
Yeah, and I just wanted you guys to see the things that you're gonna see. That's your interpretation. Today's basically what I'm gonna just tell you is like certain things we don't do, certain things we don't say. If somebody gives you something or a kachina gives you something, you say thank you, kokoi. So, yeah, kokoi. That's the formal way of saying thank you. But if you just want to shorten it to kokoi, it's kind of shorter. But kokoi is that's a male. And then you'll hear a female say askwali. That's because give respect to the culture or to the energies like that, I guess you can say. Yeah. So there's a way guys talk, there's a way ladies talk. So that's not for you to extend because you don't know our language, but I'm just trying to tell you that's the reason why we say it. So you'll see somebody say askoli, like, am I saying it wrong? No, that's a woman, And if you hear someone say kokoi, that's a male. Okay. That's what you guys say. You too, Seamus.
Thank you.
That's it.
Kokoi.
Yep. And my family is very open. I mean, we're literally in books and stuff. That's I like I said, I had a profound sense of overwhelming need for me to come out of my shell. And so I was asking my mom all these things, and I've been emboldened by her appreciation for that. Yeah, it is time we say all this stuff too. But, not in a formal manner, but in a own manner.
Yeah, from your heart. It wouldn't be true. You want some tobacco?
No, I have. It's already in here.
What do you hear? I ain't got to worry about this. Last me a good month, man.
And I found my stash. It was there. I found my willow tobacco before that, and I was smoking on my willow tobacco. Woo! Somebody gave me that a while ago. They gave me a high. Just got me. You know how tobacco is, but then I found this tobacco and I put it in. As you can see, I've only hit it so far. So
it's not as convenient as having a cigar and shit. It ain't like I can smoke this going down the road too easily. So I've been finding I'm smoking a fuck ton less.
Yeah.
And I
your
kind of like
cigar
that.
is basically a straw.
Yeah, and it's easily put in there, lit one time. This thing here,
And the tendency
it's
is you let
different.
it burn. This one
Mhm.
you hit, and it'll
And
smolder, but not
goes
like
out.
not like a cigarette or
So yeah, I'm
cigar.
smoking a shit. Not only is it cheaper, but I'm smoking a shit ton less of it.
So what's your son gonna be doing when you're over there working?
Over where?
Did you get a job over there yet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
No, I've
Cause I,
had a couple of interviews.
cause I could give Seamus a job if he wants to work.
The best prospect is I get myself a fingerprint,
Oh, yeah, I got.
but that costs
I got-
$80, and I'm
Well, I
all
was
like,
working for the state, or they did all that for me.
yeah, they ain't gonna do that for me for the job. I was like, fuck, man, I need a job to get that fingerprint thing in the first place.
I got stiffed by one of my friends. I wasn't doing any type of traditional crafts that out here. So one of my friends was asking me, and because he's my friend, he barely, he minimally fits that title. So, and that's him. I'm not me. So he stiffed me. He didn't want to pick his stuff up. He was crying around about it.
Chico.
He's got many people to get these things from, but I didn't question him. I just followed through. And that's the reason I went over there, because he wasn't picking up the phone. So I know where he lives. Went straight to him and seen all my friends, seen some of my relatives, and some people I haven't seen in 15 years.
Fucking, that's a long hike.
12 miles, yeah, to the door.
It's a long hike.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be going over there, and I wouldn't be doing that if I already know. I already know things about here. And that's what people just say. Just like, oh yeah, people. I go, yeah, I already know that, bro. I'm the one out there hiking or walking. But I gained something from it. I was thinking to myself,
Gives you a lot of time to think.
well, not only that, it's actually living proof that I'm, I seen a lot of my friends, they ain't doing well. They're all sickly in here, here. And that's what I was saying to myself, like, it's not me. And that does that make you better than? No, it's just a simple cold hard fact. You wanna test it out? Let's.
I didn't know I had that going on.
What?
The lump in my hand.
Oh,
Well, I mean, I knew it was there,
Yeah.
but that's classic. It said on the ring finger and all that. That diopes contractions or whatever.
Dupex. I've heard it before. My mom's hands again. Like mine are starting to twinge too, but it's because I use them.
Yeah. Well, this is a hand that cramps up when I'm blowing glass, and I didn't know why. I thought it was from this. He's like, nope, we got to get you to ortho because they can take care of that.
Mine is starting to do that because I put this in my fretting hand.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably
use it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I twist everything with this one.
Well, some parts it's different, but on this side it's that, but it's not debilitating and it's not painful. It's just there.
Yeah, this is kind of painful. It's hard to open my hand now. I can open these, but my ring finger doesn't want to open.
You would think the answer is to quit using it. No, they'll tell you just to keep using it because if you do, it's going to seize up and cause more pain. Much like my injury that's got exacerbated from the accident. I know where my threshold for pain is, and people are like, well, and what it is coded to like, but they're not asking. You know your own body.
Yeah, well, obviously your threshold's pretty high for being able to walk 12 miles.
And I had to break these orthopedic inserts
on a good day
because that's important to me, man. I don't have a car. If I lose that ability to go out there,
yeah, your mobility.
Me. Yeah, I'm not gonna be me. And I see one of my friends. He's all hobbling around on something happened to his hip, so he's hobbling around on crutches, and I feel bad for him. But I've been there before too, and I told him, kind of slapped him around. You better get this thing taken care of, or you're gonna be stuck. If it's pain, overcome it.
Yeah,
because that's what I had to do when I had my injury. And that's what that lady was saying.
Use some of that cream.
Yeah, well, not only, no, I'm not there yet. I'm very averse to having those things, and if I do take advantage of those things, I'm in pain or I'm scared. Because I'll fight with everything in my heart to just like
fix it.
Yeah, even if it's painful, and in most natural manner, even asking for help too, because that this mind, spirit, body, and heart connection, people, that's people are starting to lose sight of that too.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I never even knew it existed. I didn't have any reason to because, well, it's funny. I went through, electronics training, but when you're in electronics training, are they teaching you biology? I didn't know I had a magnet field, but I knew all about magnet fields. They separate and segment these things. Like a doctor knows they got a magnet field, but he doesn't know the properties of a magnet.
Chico, he's different.
He got sick a couple weeks
He
ago.
did? Oh,
Yeah, he
yeah, he
didn't want
looks
to eat
different.
for a few days
Yeah,
and
he
shit.
looks different.
He bounced back though. We thought he was on his last leg because
Oh,
he'd stopped eating.
yeah,
He
yeah,
didn't even want my food.
yeah.
I was like, oh shit, not a good sign. Not a good
I
sign.
kind of went through that my puppy too, just to make sure I was, really watching her because she was really itching at her, biting this thing raw. And then about a week ago, went over there, the fur grew over it, and she seemed happy. I was like, cool, you're
Uh,
back.
uh,
Because I get like that too. I completely understand. And I've had my animal for a long time too, but I'm not gonna have any more pets after this. A lot of things have opened up for me, and I don't
that's what
really.
I thought after we lost Patches, but ended up with that fuzzy fucker. I felt bad for his
If I'm
ass.
gonna get any pets, I'm gonna give me a horse and a falcon and go hunting.
Oh, that sounds fun. That's useful. Look at him. He's blind and deaf dog. He's got his uses, so he's got a good nose
Fucker's got
on
it
him.
made. Look at him.
I
I
found a new
know.
toy the other day with his nose.
Yeah, you found another bone,
Oh,
but it's a
really?
synthetic bone.
He
Yeah,
found a synthetic
out in the
bone.
middle of the goddamn desert too.
He just dug it up, scooped it up, dug it up.
Yeah, one of those teething bones. He's got it around here
It's cool.
somewhere.
It's cool. You don't have to buy
There
it.
it is.
Oh,
He's
wow.
already fucked it
It's out
up.
in the middle of the desert. He's like, that's mine. Yeah, that crazy dog, man.
Yeah, so other than that, I just wanted you guys to see. So we're gonna have to wait for
Ooh.
tomorrow. We're gonna have to get up early tomorrow. So when the
Okay.
sun comes up,
I usually.
as soon as the sun comes up, we should be there. And then we'll walk up. Then we'll see. Make their first rounds. One thing, just watch. Don't be questioning me because it's kind of bad form to have you over here and me be questioning. Oh, this is what this is for. This is If you need all that, there's.
I'll take it in.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can
yeah.
talk about it
Yeah,
after.
we'll talk about it afterwards, and then you can see
I don't
too.
want you ruining the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like that. I can understand it that way.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think you guys deserve it.
I said that's the one thing I appreciate about you that a lot of people I think buffer on you is your honesty.
Oh yeah, I know that. And then I was trying to get my mom to explain all that because the friends that I have, people look at me like this, like how these people embrace you is because you have to accept people for what they are. You don't have, and that's why people don't, I don't know, necessarily trust me because I can jump in all these different kinds of worlds and I'm accepted. And and then people would never know that my friends have actually saved people, have saved burning churches. And these are the people that people despise. That's why if you hear it in my lyrics, you'll say that. I'm one of those people that hang out with the despised. So does that wear off on me? No, it's because I know the truth of things, and I'm not one of these people who are gonna allow people's conjectures or opinions color with what I know to be the truth. All of us are full of faults. Ain't no one here breathing
Yeah.
right now that's perfect, other
Yeah.
than the babies that have not sinned yet.
You know why they cry? No one's listening.
Yeah.
They are born speaking and listening, and we train them not to listen anymore.
We're the
From
weakest
birth to
creatures.
cradle.
That's what cracks me up. We us newborn human beings require the most care of any other animals in the animal kingdom. That's why I like horses because they'll be born ready to run and go, fully formed. You
Yeah.
know, but human beings, oh man, I gotta carry and suckle and soothe, and they get sick and they cry.
They're very needy.
Uh-huh.
Need
And
their little butts wiped.
yeah, exactly. I think I'm still my mom. And she knows I don't need that, and that's what I'm saying. But I not to disparage anybody, but if you're a certain way, you're gonna get treated a certain way.
I'll tell
And
you, when I was almost 21, I couldn't imagine being with my parent actually at all. There was no avenue for that. I wanted out of there, but I don't see that in my kid, and fucking, I can understand that from this perspective, but not the other one.
mm-hmm. And to see my son and all that and where he's at, and it would be one thing to have him not be able to have a resource to look at things objectively, because if you look at things only through one lens, you're only going to see that. But if you're offered a different, just like me, I'm 47 years old, and I'm come to the point to where, like, I don't even have a contemporary. I don't have a peer that has had my, and that's not saying a lot. It's just that, what do I do with it?
Eh?
What do I do with this perception that I have and this experience I have? And if it's not conducive to certain people's, and then that's fine. But other people are interested in these things, and I've established that, and that's why it's very interesting to me that you came into around here, not necessarily promoting that, but being something of that. Like your senatorial work, your work with legalizing that bill. I still want to get that information out of you. I didn't last time, and I know I should watch your videos, but again, I don't have the internet. Because I did scour what's his name stuff too, and you have more content than he does,
Eh,
and his is like, not to take any of your shine away from him, but yours is a bit more um, effective, or more conducive towards promoting information and doing work behind it, instead of just identifying things other people have done.
Yeah, I even show emails and stuff on some of my
Mhm.
videos that I've had correspondence between me and Davis and
Yeah, yeah,
everything.
exactly, and that's what I
The
appreciate.
the back work of what resulted
Mhm.
in X, Y, or Z legislation.
And I'm looking at my syllabus, that I was 16 years old, and I was just coming from NAU, from doing anthropological studies too, going to
Mm.
doing college freaking work at 16, and then coming over here, and this guy is over here PhD, and I'm telling him, like, dude, your stuff's plagiarized. It's I mean, and you being a PhD should know this stuff,
Should
and he,
know it.
yeah, and and
And
then
he did.
yeah, yeah, but he see him giving me that stuff, and it was already a book I had
Yeah.
already read, and I went to my own personal library, threw that book down, and I told him, see, that's how I got to go. But you can see in the syllabus that he gave me, you can see me highlight I'm going over my own highlighted notes from 30 years ago, and we're still going through those things today. And some people are reluctant to even admit that a lot of these things and policies that were put by our own people are affecting us, and are a detriment to some of our ideals as Hopi people. Because we've had to,
It's all the people, bro.
yeah,
We
yeah,
were just talking about this morning,
mhm,
about if we don't get back down to the base of the truth of it, we're going to look at it and keep pointing fingers.
uh-huh,
We got to look at it on a big picture, because we've been here for a lot longer than they want us to know. And we've been doing the same thing too long. It hasn't
you
worked.
can the rapidity through which people have been willing to change because of the egoism of some people, and that's in everybody's society. People want stature, people want things,
Hmm.
and that's why people,
Chasing the
yeah, and
carrots
people still
and
demonize
trying
me
to keep up
because
with the damn Joneses.
they think that that's what I aspire to be. I don't
Yeah.
aspire to any of that
Yeah.
stuff. I just love knowledge, and I want people to be able to discern for themselves, because you can't reach into someone's heart and make them the way that you want. You
Nope.
have to promote these things and find out. So that's why
I
when
can show you, but I can't make
uh-huh,
you do this.
exactly, that's why when I went back, I was just like, and we're real clannish. We still have clans out here, so that moniker is actually very fitting for out here. But with me, I exert what, if that's how I'm gonna be labeled and corralled into, well, those things that I have are actually more profound than what people think. And I'm finding out in my maturity that I'm starting to reiterate those things that they begrudgingly know, and it just becomes a reminder, and that's what people don't like. And then
Hmm.
like I'm saying,
A living example of what is wrong with them.
mhm, And then what people say too,
without
like,
you even having to say anything.
they'll get mad to the point and not like me to the point when this is what I tell my mom, and it's very weird. It's like, well, how come you're saying all this? Well, it's in print. I've lived it, and I'm just giving you a message, which is my name. Why else would I be? And it's almost like,
That's why it tickled me so much when you told me Jamie didn't hate me. He just doesn't like my magnet talk. I laugh. I'm
eh,
like, because I mean,
eh,
I don't know what the hell I did to make him hate me,
because
but
there's
I
a,
felt like he hated me so much that it became a curiosity to you of why does he hate this guy? And I'm all like,
it's because
shit,
of
I
his
don't know.
loyalties, his
Yeah,
shifting,
yeah,
his
yeah,
shifting
yeah,
loyalties too. That's
yeah.
that's another thing I look at in people too.
Well, that's encouraging to me that he can actually look inside himself and say, "Well, I don't actually hate the guy. I
Yeah.
just don't like his magnet talk," and
Uh-huh.
that's acceptable to
Yeah.
me. I had a little issue with it when I realized and was trying to put everything together and off of that wall, and then the research I was doing was showing me medically, honest to God, I have a magnet field that can be measured and shit, and it didn't take me a whole lot of research at all other than the biology before it started clicking in my head, but I still had issue with like, okay, I'm a magnet, now what? Fucking that doesn't change a damn thing because I don't know a fucking thing about me at this point. I started at zero again, and the my stupid first act was to go throw my hands in the dirt and try to become meek because I was literally doing the and trying to relax and shit.
That's the other thing.
And that's when mom slapped me with this fucking shit that I didn't understand.
That's the other process that I would want to put work towards, because I'm always asked what we do, and we tell people, and we show them, and it's in books. But if you don't take it upon yourself to put this into practice, then how are you going to keep going in your life asking the same question when you are responsible
Mm.
for it? It's like what.
Everybody's looking for Jesus, bro.
One, and even some of us are looking for replacement to, so that, okay, I have it, it's right here, it's in my pocket, right? I have it, I
Mhm.
am of the word, I have the whole Bible in
It
my
has to be here.
phone.
It has to be here.
I'm righteous, look at
Yeah.
me. But that's just that.
It's like the guy he goes in, he does all this good stuff in Africa. He's at the gate and he hands him his book. He's got one little red sheet and a whole bunch of white sheets, but he doesn't have Jeebus on his side, so he goes to hell. And fucking this lady comes in, she goes to hell. Fucking she's like, oh no. And then this guy comes in with red sheets. He bit anything on the book he's done did probably 10 times. And then Jeebus is standing in the corner, hands old Peter this fucking thing. He's like, oh, oh well, ding, off he goes to fucking heaven. And I'm like, if that's the kind of people getting into fucking heaven, I don't want to be there.
That's I was just now reading about that, that book that I wanted to show you. That anything that gets between you and the word, or you and him,
Yeah,
actually puts them first and puts them between
mm,
you.
yeah,
And that also identifies our contentions with people. Now that like I'm saying, you have knowledge like that, I do too. But when we start accusing people of their
mm,
inequities, you're actually putting that person in front of you, in front of between you and them.
mm.
And that's it's a simple thing, but it's actually profound, because a lot of my actions, I'm guilty of
You
that.
can't
Oh,
do
but only because I want them to be able to follow through with what's coming out of their mouth. That's the only reason. The veracity of that, which I put my energy towards, I'm 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 done with that.
Mm.
They can do whatever they want.
Yeah,
I'm done with over there
you
putting
can't make them.
exactly. But I tried. So that's the only
All you
reason.
can do is shine, brother.
Yeah,
Because the ones that open their eyes, if we ain't shining, they ain't gonna fucking see.
I saw that when I went over to my space, because I seen the friends that are supposed to know these things, the ones that have been intimately involved in things that I can't talk to you about, but they've been able to talk to me about, because I've established that rapport and have that respect. And so when I went back, and like I'm saying, if you could have seen it, and I hate saying this, but it makes me feel bad that even though I extend that, never have they come over to my territory, to my house, to this side, because there's this schism that was established long ago that is so embedded in our society that people will even make light of it and say that's just the way it was. That isn't true. It was never like
Mm.
this until we got infiltrated into all these different ideologies and all these mannerisms, such as our diet, such as our social structure, such as our religion, such as the federal government coming over here telling us who, what is own, what they want from us, and all these things that they turned against, had our own people turned against us.
Mm.
And see, that was another thing that another friend of mine who is my own clan, I was talking to him like this, and he's very like me, and he goes against the grain because they made it that way, and all he's doing is he's not being
He's staying
controversial.
steady. The
Yeah,
things around
exactly,
him have changed.
exactly. And so then I
Yes.
went to go follow up with him, and he told me it wasn't even nothing. They just made it a bunch of smoke and mirrors. And I go, yeah, they thought you'd fold, huh? He goes, no, they don't know us very well. We've been an itch in their side for a long time, and with us gone, they can do that. But with us here, and they can demonize us and say anything that they want to us. And this is the point that I was trying to illustrate to my mom and give her context. I hang out with those guys because you know what? They've been through the ringer, and
Yeah.
all these people thinking that they were better than them and stuff like that need to look at their own homes, need to look at themselves and things that they're doing, not the people that they're trying to demonize. And because my people, my friends, have been there and gone through that stuff, we're more bold and more just like the security guy going over there and somebody's all up trying to hide that that thing that we smoke, and I hope you have some of that and we'll smoke some of that later. But he goes like, he's all saying all this stuff right, and everybody's all like scared because they're scared. My friends aren't scared of them because you know what, those same people pointing those damn fingers at us are just as wicked as us, even more so because they have that authority.
Yeah.
We don't.
And they don't admit their own wickedness.
Uh-huh. And with the people like me, I love honesty.
Dude,
I
if you
love
need a fucking
boldness.
lawyer to go talk to your dad, you know you've
Exactly.
been doing wrong, right?
Exactly.
Fix that shit.
Exactly.
Shine that thing. Fuck yeah.
And in truth, you don't get to pick where it comes from. When you hear it and you see it exerted, that's what it is. Not all this officiousness that is going around. Oh, I'm the leader. I'm the leader. Well, then lead.
We don't need a leader. We've got a leader, the creator and the mother, and we're extensions of mom. And a baby can talk as clearly as we do without speaking. And that's how we speak with mother. And every other atom in existence is a little tiny soul, man. It's got that magnet,
I
and we
would
grow it.
I would be missing a lot of this had I not become a father.
Yeah,
Yeah. All this
it
stuff.
helps, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does because the person I was doing this stuff for, he didn't want to, those things was for a girl or a boy. One was for a girl or a boy because a boy gets a doll when they're born. That's the only doll that I ever get because he's a newborn. But the other thing he wanted me to produce was for a girl, but he wasn't giving me details. And this guy's always been like that with me. So I went over there to see if anybody was giving me details. No, but it'll come out. But the thing is, he's rooted in our culture in a way that a lot of other clans are, as I am too, because this is the thing that's gonna come to the forefront because they say this is supposed to end all this stuff when the time and the world's gonna
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And I'm not over here trying to be
Well, they're
a proud.
busily right now rolling over themselves
Yeah,
and dismantling
yeah,
the
yeah.
federal government.
That's
I've
why
told people the
that's
longest
that's why
time the reason I
that's
stood down is because they're going to intentionally drive civil unrest down here with dismantling their own system.
that's
We don't have to burn down shit. They're
that's
going to do
American
it.
society. Our
Yep,
society has been
yep.
here longer, and we've seen other people try to do it. I'm not a prognosticator in any way, but I am a student of
Oh,
history.
you've seen this.
Yeah, I'm a student of history, so it'll come again. This is
They've
just
pulled this shit on us a lot.
and this is what I'm gonna tell you. I did the math, okay? I know because I'm this old how many generations of knowledge I have because I've lived through those people. I've heard their stories and they've told me things. Okay, I have spent time with my great grandfather, so his knowledge goes back all the way. And because I did the numbers, you know how far my knowledge goes back from people who actually seen those things, from people who are actually there. It goes back to the birth of this nation, 1775. That's how far from this day, how many generations of knowledge that I actually know and have
Yeah.
spent time with those people, even from the split of Oribe. My grandmother was there. That is a first-hand account of actually what happened that I would see her play out when her sister came over and they would argue about all this. Oh, you were too young. Oh, no, I wasn't. I remember this. I remember that. I remember so and so. I remember this is what we had to do when we got. That's in here. That's in here because My people suffered those things.
Yeah.
My people had to make dire decisions about how much more. Then some more left. Then some more left to where we're only hanging on to a little bit and stuff. And then, people engaging me in conversation. They don't want to hear these things too. Just like the stuff that the tribal council did. Now I'm starting to understand that because they're a certain way, I don't have to respect them in that manner because they're actually doing things that are against us. And I have a track record. My grandpa didn't like that. That's why my name is Mud out here. Well, what were all the other people doing? They're not on any kind of they don't have any distinction whether to fight back and stuff. They weren't bold enough to step on the line and be in their people. Well, look at my mom.
Yeah.
The Indian,
You come from a long
the
line.
Indians, yeah, the Indian religious act. Well, it was illegal to actually practice our religion until I was born in 1978. Then it became, okay, now it's legal.
Yeah.
But who had to be over there making noise about that Indian rights, civil rights movement? Whose mother was on the front line? Mine was. And of course they're going to produce a child like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course that's going to be a burning desire in my heart to put things right because a lot of things were taken away. And if they mean something to you, yeah, you're going to hear somebody bitch, moan, and complain. If they don't mean anything to you, you're not going to hear anybody say anything because you know what? They don't care. They don't know what it is. This stuff can be taken away from us like that.
Quick. Yeah, look at what's happened down in my world with this fucking guy. He's been in there for 3 weeks and he's got the world upside down.
Oh, you know what's funny? I'm glad that the internet went out because I don't know nothing of it. But when I went to go talk to all these guys, my friend is a plumber, the one I was doing it for. All this stuff, and I was like, well, my internet's been out. And my friend, what these guys are. And I was like, and what I get the gist of by not being by not even paying attention to it, by hearing what they're saying. Everything dominoes. They set all the dominoes up now. All it's waiting for is this.
The tick. Yeah.
And that was one of my ideas. I'm gonna give me a hold of some dominoes. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna tell a story while I'm doing that. And when those dominoes,
they're laying the trump card down. Mm-hmm. This is the other day he made a tweet. Mm-hmm. See, I pay attention to what he says on his social media, and he's been talking to people across the board about how this is the final push, this is the final countdown, fucking I need your help like never before and shit. And I'm all like, dude, this guy's telling people the exact same thing I'm telling people. They're closing down the government. This is it. This is the before the bomb time. And yeah, he's just making that comment openly like they do. And I'm reading into it because I used to advise bastards like that. I know what they do. I know the tricks they use. But he's calling it out.
Yeah. And what I know too, they come here before. We've done this. We've taken what we know away from these areas. And just like what I want to show you, my mother has gone down to these places. And that's what I was saying to my mom just now before you guys got here, or in the hour that I seen your text. It's like, isn't it weird? He goes, what? Our clan comes from the south, specifically, way down there in the pyramids. My mom's actually visited those things and got that on video right now. We've got CDs waiting for us to go look at right now that she's been down there. Okay. Well, that's evidence of my mother. My father has taken me to his homeland when I was a little baby. I have pictures like that. And see, just that simple thing right there, too. My dad going back to his homeland from where he was even before they came to Hopi. My mom going back to her homeland where we were down in the jungles of Central America, Mexico City, all the way down to Tierra del Fuego because we got friends who actually have open doors, and because they hear us, they want us to see these things.
Yeah.
And she's traveled all the way up there too. I don't know anybody, Hopi's out here, or even anybody in the world whose people know exactly where they come from and can go back to where they come from and come back here.
I'm finding out.
Trace their roots.
I got some Northern European in me. Only 5% of the fucking, who would have figured, right? Definitely. But I know that. I don't know any. I know my mom's family is deeply related to German and the
I see a little bit
Blackfoot
of Swede
tribe.
in you. just a
Yeah,
like a
maybe.
pinky.
I don't know.
Yeah, just a
No
sliver.
idea.
Yeah.
I don't even know anything about my dad's side
Mm,
at all. I'm product of rape. What are you
yeah,
gonna
I
do?
know that.
And there was never prosecution on it. So rich people
I've been coming
doing
to
as rich people do.
I've been coming to I formulated this theory in my head. A lot of people who carry knowledge are carrying a lot of damage in them too, such as myself.
Hmm.
You know,
We were looking for answers.
yeah, and I was telling my friend this because he's my friend. He's from me. He knows my character and everything like that. And I told him, I go, when I went back to California, was it wrong for me to feel? I go, because that place feels like, I go, you guys, I was only less than 10 years from living that lifestyle when you guys came to know me. And of course, I was different. And then, but then I told him I went back and I go, is it wrong for me to feel like that? And he goes, you know what, Jamie? Home is where you make it. And then he goes, wherever you feel welcome, wherever people feel you in esteem, and that's a profound sense. He alleviated that, but I still had some sadness about it because I don't have any contemporaries, just like I'm saying, to actually have people come over here and more or less, I understand you. I'm gonna tell you my story. I'm only got one person like that, and that's my godson who happens to be from Ventura, and he's telling me to come right now, and he'll do everything he needs to because I gave him his life back. And that's not me tooting my horn like, oh, I'm some savior, I'm some healer and stuff like that. Oh, here's my business card. I charge this
But
much.
you got a real friend out of it. That's
Exactly.
what it
And
is.
that's what kind of makes my mind go like this. Like, I have a house there, I have a house here, I have a house there. I know my people here, I know my people there. But the world has become so mired in its contentions in and among themselves that people can't see the value in that. And I'm glad that he said that to me because I wouldn't have accepted it from anybody anyway, unless somebody that knows me accepted me, that we've gone through these things. And I'm glad I went back. And just like I was saying, my friend, I let him talk. He was talking to my other friend. I didn't even let him know I was in the car because I wanted to hear him talk. And as soon as I saw my face, tears instantly.
Hmm.
And this guy is one of the toughest guys, acting like this. But what I know about tough people, veneer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a veneer. And people like me, yeah, you think I'm a pussy and things like that. No, you got another thing
You're
coming.
a big emo.
Yeah.
You're like a goth.
you're,
You're a goth kid.
And then too, the other day,
Fucking love you, bro.
I took a shower, I shaved.
I'm thinking
I brushed
about
my
shaving.
teeth.
You look
Yeah.
so young.
And then, I went over there. People were just like eyeballing me. And then
Is it a job?
my old friends, I didn't realize I had so many other admirers over there too. But that
Oh,
domesticity isn't for me, bro.
it is about job.
Oh, cool.
Oops.
You would play my Free Fire account on one of your things. I'm just kidding.
I haven't played that since we left here. I've been just fucking sitting around. Fucking, I was sick for a week last week. I still got a little bit of congestion, but I ain't sick.
Before you go, I'll get all this stuff out too to let what's his name know that I'm for certain gonna try and even when I'm saying that I don't think it's true. We are really in a fulcrum point in our lives right now. My mom and I.
We got about 2 month window. Everybody at this point, bro.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that because that's what I feel too. Because if I don't establish this here, if I'm not gonna stay here, then I'm gonna go. Then I can't have a growing season. But if I do those things in a time period right now and I come back before the growing season, that'll be the plus. That would be the most thing I really want to do because then I won't have to be feeling that later on in the growing season, like, oh, I should have done this. Be sitting here sweating, not having any money, not having any weed, because I'm committed because this is a commitment.
It is.
You have to keep your mind on it.
I could be in Casper right now, bro.
Yeah, I know that. And see, then
we were just talking about that yesterday. I'm like, I'm committed to my last breath to this cause because it's bigger than me. And it makes more sense than anything I've ever heard or seen or anything. And I haven't heard any of it.
I'm so happy that you established a rapport with these guys too, and they're willing to let you have this, not have it, own it, but be a part of it. And we can all reciprocate in how, whatever they want to know about the tribes around here traditionally or that have always lived here, I'm that, and if whatever they can get from that, I'm willing to share that with, your viewer. And of course, just like what you were saying about my channel and stuff like that, I don't have any means of looking it up.
This is the most valuable thing I think we have to offer is talking truth.
And then too, look, all these
Because where
reference
do you get
materials.
that?
Yeah, with these reference materials and things like that. I see a lot of people trying to take swipes about it, but the thing is, you can talk all day about it, about what you read in books, what you researched, but if
Mm.
you lived it, you feel it.
Yeah.
If you bring pictures, oh, these are our personal pictures. Hey, they corroborate exactly with what's in the book. Look at it. And they free Leonard Peltier. Who hung out with Leonard Peltier? She just left the building.
Mm.
Her. That little lady right there has done a lot of freaking things in her life. And you would never understand how much exertion she's had. And again, what did she gain from it? Nothing. But
A lot of soul dogs.
yeah, but in this time right now, like I said, and I made sure I was waiting at the door for. I go, Mom, let me see those things. We're gonna go through them. Whatever is exciting, whatever is cool, whatever is not, and all the details and stuff. I'm gonna ask you more questions, and she's more receptive. And you and my niece have been helping me hammer that thing home because my mom knows that I know these things, but there's a disconnect. And if you really want to read into it, start, star signs, astrological things. Me and my mom are enemies. If you look at that stuff, if you even give it a little bit of credence, yeah, we're enemies. She doesn't like to be rushed. I rush all the time. She doesn't like to be disturbed and things. That's why I was waiting right there. That's how I told her. I'm thankful that you brought these things up. I was waiting for her to bring it, but sometimes I don't have the timing that I disturb you and it comes out wrong. And she just laughed because she had to admit that that's how she is. But this is how I am. And because I'm this way, that's not real conducive to our society because we slow down and we take our time. We don't go, with the clock and stuff. But me, I'm always, let's go. Son, let's go.
Wasting day.
Uh-huh.
That's how I was this morning too. Usually every morning I wake up and have coffee and sit and watch sunrise
This
because
is
I ain't got nothing better to do.
I'm happy for you that somebody's extending that courtesy, and I do have the seed stock and things, even the stuff that I have,
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to it because you add 6 to the pile.
Yeah, no problem.
We're staying within legal limits.
I would really like to go up and see I think I might have some grape ape.
Nice.
She grows it herself. Her dad brought it down from
Oh,
Colorado
great.
yeah.
Grape ape's
And as
good,
I
yeah.
told her, to his dad, that's what instantly endeared me to him. He goes, "Well, I got this. Which do you want?" I go, grape ape. Is it purple? He goes, "Yeah." I go, anything purple is good for me. And he just cracked. It's like that's what I've always done. We just looked at each other, and then the daughter and then Jamie were just
fruit salad.
yeah, dude. And that's why we smoked all of it. We got in trouble because we smoked up all her stash.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and the next day
that is trouble.
Yeah, but I wanted to see. I got Jamie into that trouble. I wanted to see her exert it, and sure, she didn't disappoint. The next day, she goes, "I said it was on the table, but I didn't say for you guys to smoke it all."
Shit,
Yeah.
boys. That's good.
I hate that I'm like this, but once I see these things, just like I hope you don't feel that I was that way with you, but it is very important to establish a respective rapport in and amongst people you intend to do things for. And I've grown in my maturity, just like like the friend I'm talking about. I let him do that stuff to me. I let him disrespect me. I let him lie to me, but I followed through. Even to the point where his mom was over there like, "What? He did what?" Well, I came back. I go, "No, it's your son's responsibility. Let him pay me. And if he doesn't pay for it, that's on him. And you know what? That guilt is going to prevent him from asking me and getting himself
doing it again."
And then I get to eat in his meal. And his nieces are my aunties, so I get them over there. Oh, come in and eat. Then I'm over there. My friends, the Amis, I ate at their house too. And people just look at me like, how is it that these people? Because what the derogatory term for our people from past First Mesa is stews, so they'll call me a stew. From here on, from Second Mesa on to Third Mesa, those First Mesa people have a derogatory term for us. They just call us stews. I don't know where it comes from. That stuff was established before I moved home, and that shit was already there. Yeah. It denotes a certain traditionalism that is lacking over there that they gave up, and you could see it on full display. The whole things are lined with cars. Nobody has the ability to actually walk up those things anymore. Yeah. And that's what I was laughing at. Here I came over here on foot, and I'm leaving on foot. I walked all the way freaking home. I mean, that's why I was flirting with going straight because it would have been quicker. And my friends know that about me, but they were trying to hang on to me because another thing that exists too, they want you to be
Mm.
because they don't. If you're stronger than them, what does that mean?
They got to work to
Aw.
keep up with you, and they're busy doing something
Mhm.
else.
They don't want you around. And so I was telling my mom I have a very unique place in society.
Well,
And it's lonely, but I know a lot and I can move around. I can go here, I can go there.
so I've been dealing with shit like that on the job site all my life. I'm the younger guy, and the older guys wanting to worry about if I'm trying to make them look bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I'm
I
making
know
you look
that
bad, and
very
you know
key.
that, then fucking get yourself busy. You know what I mean?
Um,
But that's been part of my life. Like one state in 50 made it illegal for the core curriculum because one motherfucker sat and made a fucking articulate argument about why they should,
Mhm.
and they agreed, and that became the very first unanimous decision in their legislature's history. And I got to tell you, it was misspelled and poorly punctuated, and fucking I gotta wonder, why in the hell couldn't one person in the other 49 states do that? And we could have fucking overcome that. That would have took 50 people out of 300 million.
That's the strength.
Jamie,
That's the strength by not being involved in any of this stuff. Nobody has a phone.
we need to school people that
Yeah.
all they got to do
I'm gonna
is
go get
stand
that
up
book.
and say something.
I'm gonna go get that book. I'm gonna put another pot of coffee on it. I'm gonna go relieve myself because I'm screaming here.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, but I'm gonna show you the things that I want to work on, and if that's of interest to
Okay.
you, we can go that direction. If not, I want to listen to you and see because there's other things.
Well,
that
I'll
we can-
pack a bowl because Seamus, I've been smoking the resin all morning in anticipation of getting up here and smoking
Pack this
some.
one.
Thanks, Mike and Cheyenne, with you.
I gave my friend that I haven't seen in 15 years that bowl that you gave me,
Okay.
but that one's Jamie's bowl.
It makes it better.
Jamie boy.
Pale Rider. We're smoking on a Pale Rider pipe. Little peace pipe. He doesn't hate me. He just doesn't like my magnet talk.
Oh, puppy. Oh, you're just.
Would you answer the question? The question is answered on my posts, on my post section of my channel. I answer all questions you've probably didn't even realize there were answers for. Over there, I made it easy for y'all to see those and denoted them. New people need to look at this one. So there you go. I made it easy for you. If you're new, get on my community page, which they renamed posts on my off my home page on this channel, and look for the videos I made. I do not monetize, so I'm not clickbaiting you. And we're in Central Arizona, if that was your question, because it scrolled up. I've been sitting here talking to a friend of mine. If you don't know who that friend is, you got some homework to do. This isn't your mom's YouTube channel. And, you know, it's just the way it is. You may want to sit down before push and play. just a little advice. You're going to learn things you didn't even know existed. It's been a wild trip. Yep, we're back at the tree. Hi, Sandia.
So I don't know if you know about this book. It's produced by the Mormon Church in Toul.
Uh-oh. No, never seen it. Looks almost Hebrew.
It's from the Jewish faith here.
Okay.
They assert that certain families, Judah, Joseph, represented by different colors, different emblems, different.
I recognize the emblems.
Yeah, I do too. And in here, I'll give you a table of contents. It's broken down in a certain way. So it goes part 1, visual aids, visual communication, art and religion, the language of heaven, purpose, visual language, simile, metaphor, parable, myth, visual voices.
Language of heaven, huh?
Yeah, part 1, part 2 of part 1.
That rings a curiosity bell.
Keys of interpretation, source, target, comparing, connecting, putting the picture together, seeking by faith, law of witnesses, collusion, test of testimony, revelation, experience. Part 3 of part 1, voice of colors, white, black, gray areas, blue, red, green, yellow, purple, color and culture, blue and red, colors and direction, north, west, south, east, color guide. Part 4 of part 1.
That sounds familiar too.
Yeah. It's just like a thing. If you're coming in late to the game or don't have any context, this will provide some context with things. Much like what this book was attempting to do. This is when I was 16, I went and see, this is from where it was issued from Diablo College, and this is the man I went with. Now I asked to see this because he was trying to tell me, well, it's too late, you can't come up here. We tried to get all these Hopi students to go, and I was like, well, let me see your syllabus. And he handed this to me, and I was like, looking through it, and I'm like, wait a minute, this looks awful familiar.
Yeah,
I
right.
already read all this stuff. So he goes, what? I go, wait. I went down to my house. In a matter of less than 5 minutes, came back and gave him the hard copy, the hardbound version of it. And I went like this.
And he knew he was busted.
Yeah. And I always
His
say
deal
this,
was somebody that already knew.
Yeah, he went like this and
It's
goes,
awesome.
you're coming with us. And I want my freaking college credit because I had already done some work. And
Yeah.
he was fleecing. I'm going to tell you, he was fleecing these people. That's much of academia. They're just plagiarizing other people's work while saying at the same time, oh, no, we're not plagiarizing anybody else's work. So how did I already know all this stuff and not even take his course? I want my credit. But anyway, like I'm saying, this is just a Xerox copy. And even these things are here. I got even that book in my collection. And that's why I've always been adamant about, like, why don't we have these things out here?
Yeah, that's a curiosity.
Yeah. Because there are smart people out here. I mean, that's all
I think
doing in California.
From what I heard, it's because of people that are working against your people.
Yeah.
The damn, you had a library in the works and somebody sold the damn thing. I was like, that's fucked up.
I want to go over and I more than anything, I want to identify the motivations that prevent us from being empowered by these things. It's not going to replace the culture. It's just adding to it and asserting the validity and length of it, the tenure of it, because our tenure goes beyond, all these governments, beyond all these flags, beyond all these religions. But nobody, in my estimation, has expressed what I'm attempting to express. And because it hasn't been done, it's going to come out in spurts and it's not going to be formal or recognized by anybody. But the meat of the matter is when people look at it and feel it, much like I was over here looking at that man like, wait a minute, I already know all this stuff. Same thing.
Yeah.
And because people...
Well, it shouldn't be formal. It should be just us
that's what
doing
I'm saying.
what we do.
It should be. Because that's how I came to this knowledge too. But it's come from people that look like you. It's never come from people who look like me. And that's the thing I have to admit about myself, because when I went over there, they're my people, yes, but I grew up there, but now I'm back. And people were just like looking at me and all this flood of information and the things that I'm talking about. You could see the friend that gave me that advice. He was like, good, because these ones that are working against us, they're trying to find inroads into this. Yeah. They're trying to, put their information out in the world like that, but it's always going to falter because
it's not coming from the truth.
Not only that, they're going to find these people and they're going to put them to, like I go on find people like you. I'm not an anomaly. There's a lot of people who do what I do, but they don't have the experiences that I had. These are the people I'm trying to find so that we can, like what you're doing.
Yeah.
I see you.
It's time to gather.
I see you as that.
There's a magnet chain.
Mhm.
I don't care who likes my magnet talk or not.
And again, here I go talking and talking.
Well,
and
if you
talking.
close your eyes and listen,
Mhm.
we all look the same.
Yeah,
Just a little bit different, like our fingerprint.
I always like that comment on that movie. It's got Mark Dacascos. What was it called? Anyway, he makes his comment that this one, it's back in the colonial times. So they go back to France, and this one British officer is asking him, he's Indian. He goes, "Are you able to produce children of our race?" Because back then people were ignorant. Oh yeah, and then he just goes, "All women have same color when candle is out." It's kind of like what you're saying.
Yeah, they do.
My grandpa used to say this too. When people, I'll like this in a minute. I'm gonna just say this last part. When people would make that, kind of make, like, see, you're here at my house, okay? And you guys just happen to be a different hue, come from a different place. Well, you're still human beings. That gives us no right to exclude you guys. And see, he might have seen that going on in other people, and that's what my grandpa said. Like, well, here's a knife. You cut your hand, I cut my hand. If any other color comes out, then we're not brothers.
Yeah.
The same color comes out.
True.
So,
yeah. I've heard of these blue bloods, but I haven't run into one yet. Everybody that I've ever met bleeds red, including Kifferton.
I'm sorry. I know.
What a puppy you are. Jeez. Chico's found his happy spot. I'm like, yeah, that's just the right amount of sun. For a nap, huh, Chico? Look at him. He can't even keep his head up.
He's just old.
He's into it.
No, my pup's getting there too. 14.
You got some amazing skies today, bro. I'm really liking the whole pattern thing going on over here.
Yeah, it's kind of profound when I came back and seen that. I mean, both of it's good and bad, but it's reality, and you can't hide from all that.
Yeah, no, embrace it. The only safe spot on the planet is in your frequency at this time. Your magnet is going to protect you. Anything come at you, creator wants you here, he can power up your magnet enough to bounce any goddamn thing off of it. I've lived that. They tried to kill me and they destroyed my truck, but the only thing left was where I was sitting, bro, and it was like a little bubble.
Repelled all your truck away from you.
I didn't do that.
Brake was curled.
I didn't do that. That big ass truck was inside my truck, trying to eat me, bro. And it didn't work. The guy that tried to kill me ended up fucked up more than I was, and then he disappeared.
You got an outlet.
I ain't got much to fear.
You got an outlet, like if I put my little mini DVD player right there, we could all watch it.
This?
Yeah, or a plug.
Oh, we could turn on the generator.
Oh no, never mind. No, I don't want to do that. I don't have an adapter for that cigarette lighter adapter.
I mean, we could also get a extension.
No, we can just go into my shed and watch it too.
Yeah, we could do that too.
Yeah.
I cleaned it a little bit. We can all sit around without sitting on each other's lap.
That's a nice pipe.
Jamie. He didn't make it.
It's still a nice pipe.
You're the only person I gotta say that to.
I like smoking peace pipe out of the Pale Rider's pipe. It's awesome. I'm happy that he doesn't hate me. Dude.
We had a conversation.
I'm glad you talked to him.
Along with that conversation, I proposed going over there and staying over there. He's let other people, and this is another thing. He's like the same kind of classification as my friend over here that I was doing the doll and not coming through part. He's very much like
Mm.
him. So what I do with people like that, because I have experiences, I'll keep proposing things, and he knows I'll work, but I just don't know the reasons why he lies to me.
Mm.
Because Jamie's lied to me a lot of times too, and I've caught him on that.
Probably because he'd have to admit something inside himself he ain't ready to.
Yeah. But if I'm willing to go for someone who I call a friend all my life and have him treat me and have it be okay, it really isn't a mark against them. What does that say about me?
Mm.
A
You
lot, a lot,
accept it
a lot
an
of it's
awful lot.
we can pretend it means something. Maybe I'm actually deficient in some areas.
Mm.
Maybe that's a weakness of mine
Feeling
that I let people. Yeah,
sorry for people.
maybe that's it.
It might be weakness,
It,
bro, but
it
I suffer the same one. What can you do? I moved my son and I out of our house because I felt sorry people didn't know what was coming. And I felt that the best avenue would to be to reach somebody that if I could actually help them see what time it is, that they would have the influence over many people. So I was hitting the churches and I was hitting the wisdom holders and the tribal preservation officers across the nation. And I got to tell you, it just like it's been the most amazing time of my life. And I've seen tribes come together that weren't to form greenhouses to feed their
you,
families.
you know what? I've never had this, but now based on what I was telling you, and I'm wanting to talk to you because you can understand, and some of the things that we're talking about are actually congruent. This is what I've been fighting against. Remember, I was telling you earlier about maybe 10 minutes ago that it's never come from a face like me because traditionally we were always bullied and told what to do,
Hmm.
forcibly removed from our lands, murdered, introduced different diseases, tested upon. We were actually not necessarily what it sterilized back in the day when they went over to get services for the Indian women. So there's been a whole generation of people not only
All my
into
life, I've
into
been
into the
a
modern era,
white boy
yeah, into the modern era,
in a
and
white society,
yes,
bro.
and then listen to me too. The
Totally
people,
different.
look at how our country is held in esteem in the world now, though. You
Uh,
know why? Because look who actually came here. Yeah, we may say all kinds of stuff about immigrants, but what was coming here and what was promised and what was marketed was religious freedom and freedom
mm,
from the masters
it,
who even try to attempt to, yeah, the polite slavery, indentured servitude. That's the polite slavery
yeah,
right there. But you guys did that to your own people.
yeah.
But what resulted here was them trying to, get away from their masters because they were their masters. But when they came here, now look at how many years have gone by. We're actually comprised of the people who would rather be free than die as slaves.
Hmm.
That's what this country is.
We were only free for 36
And that
years.
person, and that person that you're talking about, right? Whoever, it doesn't even have to be named. Who's ever guilty of that, they always come into periods in history of time, but they're always thwarted by some kind of sentiment like that because that's what I see. And and I think that's what a part of you and I are after, a new type of way to talk to people so that they can be see themselves however they are, and
Yeah,
and admit that
it's not
because
up to me to
and
decide where
and
you're
and
at or
and,
not.
and coming from somebody whose people had already civilized, have already lived this place longer than anybody, that hasn't been done in a manner, and I think that that's what entices people to want to promote what I have to say to be on broadcast like that. But it's not even about that. I actually enjoy talking to you like this and expressing these things because, much like my friend, I want that for him, but I know him so much as a friend that no, but he's still edified because he was so excited because this is what I was talking to him about. Yeah, go on there. I go, that's not the only one. And he was even joking it with my mom because that household I want to take you to has been in National Geographic books, has two other books made about it. Um, my boy and I are on videos on YouTube. Jamie put me on videos. I'm on some of your videos, and Hopi's like to
You're on the
joke.
one this morning when
Yeah,
you walked in.
exactly.
You're
And and
still sitting. We're
and
still
we
going.
and we like to joke and things. So we always constantly looking for jokes. But what the thing is, what you got to be careful for, just like what the message that I hope you and I are, making other people want to listen to is that as long as it's not offending or excluding anything, much like what I was talking to you about. This nation's comprised of people who just
Yeah.
got tired and just wanted to express their own views and respect one another, and whether,
Still kind of like that.
yeah, it is. Otherwise we'd be in chaos, and that's why we're esteemed in the world, because a lot of those old way thinking are away from that those people. They may be from there, but they don't like it because that's how they would rather be here, but they still give distinction up because their race and where their heritage comes from. But America is the only place where that thing is allowed for that to happen other than in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And just like I was saying, this guy trying to manipulate that, much like how the old world was. That's the reason we live
Yeah.
here. And I hope
Well, he
people,
comes from
I
that
hope,
branch of understanding how to control by division and manipulation. That's
yeah, that is
where
old world thinking.
that's his based
Mhm.
knowledge coming from the Mossad.
And but what
That's
I'm
old Hebrew.
Yeah, that's why I wanted you to see all these symbols,
Yeah.
and people don't even see on a daily basis how many practices that actually come from things that aren't from there, and even in art, how short of a history. People don't even understand our history out here. You can work those things backwards, and that's why they think that I'm talking about new ideas. No, these ideas are things that have been dragged down and haven't been addressed for a long,
A
long
long
time.
time, huh?
And that's a tactic.
That's one
Yeah,
picture I'm getting.
because the people
Well,
who hold that knowledge died out.
unanimously across this nation. Um, in I would say 98%. And the only reason I'm giving it 2% is because I can't remember a tribe that didn't tell me that this is information we don't share with our own people. I can't think of one tribe, including my own, so-called higher learning education people. You were just showing me the corruption in,
Mm,
sitting there telling, because I called him up in anger
mm.
down there from Mike's and was standing in Six Flags asking him who missed this shit. Who is so incompetent? I said, why don't you? I got a GPS. You tell me this isn't man made. And they're like,
You
we
know what's been happening?
know it is.
People are starting to admit that because people like you and I, even on my end,
They don't
are
want us to know how amazing
well,
we actually can
not
be.
only that, and some of us too are assuming that what we were told was broadcast. What I've come to understand,
Mhm.
only maybe a handful now. And I'm not saying to like, oh, try to corral some type of uh, um, uniqueness that I can profit from. No, that's just actually, and see, that's another thing. The way our minds are so attuned to having all this, like, what is he doing that for? Oh, because of this, because of look how much our mind is how much time we have to filter through all the possibilities of what coming out of each other's mouth is actually going to be what it is.
Yeah. Well, you have to. We've been conditioned to expect our.
And what's that doing to our
We're
bodies?
divided as the family, bro. How are you
Yeah,
supposed to trust even your mother? You do. I don't trust mine.
yeah,
He trusts me,
yeah.
which is something weird to me as a looking at it from a
And there's a
child's
whole patchwork
perspective.
anywhere in society right now. You can see that, and in the mannerisms too, good and bad. I'm not trying to provide a position to where I can judge people. I'm only trying to
Oh yeah, yeah,
I'm
no.
just trying to weave this
Clarity.
cloth, man.
Mm-hmm. We got to clear the fucking
And
window
that's what I was
because
trying
we
to talk
can't heal with
to the
it
generation.
cloudy.
Yeah, I'm trying because I'm whether I like it or not, and just like I was expressing to you how much generational knowledge people have imbued me with. My mom, I know for sure what she's saying because there's a record of it. She's my mother. Then the kids underneath me, not specifically my relatives, but what they're trying to express. I think I've had success with my mother because now she's hanging out with that, and I'm telling her these things. But not a lot of people. Some of us just go, huh, and it goes by. Me, I'll just be
Mm.
like, you see that? Because what? Those guys never used to be so talkative now. Now because I've been talking to her and I've been talking to them, now they're talking to each others. When if I didn't just say anything, see
It
how that
wouldn't be
happens
familiar in their head.
exactly, and trying to get them to understand
Living
one
by
another.
example, bro.
Because then that's where I pose questions. And people say I talk a lot. No, I actually say out loud what a lot of people are thinking. That's how intuitive and how in touch I am with my place in society.
People you make feel uncomfortable
Oh
are going
yeah,
to tell you you
exactly.
talk a lot.
Because I know their
I think
thoughts.
you talk just enough.
Because whereas people don't like the way I'm talking, my friend was right there giving me commentary and the most distinct things that I needed to hear, and when it had that impact, had it come from
If you don't like something
yeah.
that, or I don't like something you're saying, it's going to make me want to listen to it more to understand what I don't like about
Mhm.
it.
Much like the reason I let my friend babble on for 5 minutes before I revealed myself, just the same old person. This time has passed, the good and the bad.
My trolls
Mhm.
words stick in my head more than anything. Because, for example, I know glass is a fucking electromagnetic insulator. They use it on fucking telephone poles since the beginning of
Yeah.
telegraphs because of that property. So Lee has been challenging me to move the paper under glass. I took the challenge. Fucking got tired of hearing it. Even though I knew I would fail, I didn't. It
Well,
very slightly moves the shit. It retards what I can do. But I answered the challenge, and now because I did that, I know I can do that. I
mhm.
didn't know that before. I was afraid to do it, afraid to fail, knowing I was going to go fail.
You know what I would like to do with you, just further discuss. Not that I'm trying to say that I've heard everything about magnetism, how it applies, but in different phenomena. You heard me talk about pheromones and ions and different physicalities of
Mm-hmm.
what is known in our knowledge, but also too, even science admits this stuff too. The things that it doesn't know, it's still a reality. Those things what we were talking about too that aren't so readily known in the world, I think we intuitively, just like what was that experiment, if it's not being watched it doesn't exist. I
Mm.
think we don't give ourselves enough credit because that idea needs you and me to discuss these things and see it in our minds, because I can see it because I can discuss it with you. You can see it
Mm.
too. That's the only reason we're talking about it. But I think that's the only way that it can really manifest itself, when we just much like our what we call our these songs and ceremonies and these actions, these colors and the things that these things tries to identify.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing I lost track, but it reminds me that I didn't mention this before. That's the thing I try to do to the new generation, because like I was saying, there's all this stuff nowadays we have to filter these things through. And not only that, there are rules out here of ethics, of moral things, and because the rapidity of the modern era, some of these things haven't been given enough time to be tested by the individual we're trying to teach these things to. There's no really context to where these things would happen on a daily basis, because the things
To
that we,
make relevance,
yeah,
yeah.
for convenience's sake, we've adopted all these other things. And that's my accusation against society or anybody who's going to accuse me of not being able to live like the way we're supposed to live. Because, and then that's what I was telling my friend, somebody has to get up and talk about these things, a set of standards. Because instead of thinking about why someone would say something, have like a chart. If they say this, go to here. If it matches this, that over here, then okay, turn to page this is what
The
that means.
question should be, why
So
didn't you say something?
well, like I'm saying, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because people are all different. But if we had this standard or a card, and then you would understand, like, oh, okay, I get it why my uncle is saying this. I get it why my grandma is saying that. Instead of going around, having your day ruined because, like I'm saying, there's all this other stuff that we're having to deal with. In I see it in my son. I see it in our children and our nieces and nephews. And this is what I was telling the generation under me is like, I haven't sold this out,
Yeah.
not my generation, but because because we need, just because we can't be proud of that, the work continues. This is
It
the
does
uh-huh.
because we sold
And there's
our
there's more threats.
lower generations
Exactly.
out.
And it sounds like preaching and stuff like that, but you know what? It is. That's exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I there's no way to get around it.
Is making
There
it
wasn't
clear.
so many distractions nowadays. You had to sit there and listen to your elders, because you know what? There was nothing else
Like,
around.
what else you gonna do?
Yeah. And then the things that they taught us, These guys don't practice
We
it
used to
anymore.
throw sticks and stones at each other
Yeah,
for fun, bro.
yeah, exactly. And see, that's the reason I want to explore going back to my roots and explaining to people, because there are more people who grew up like me now, but they're not giving that viewpoint from somebody of my experience, because I lived through those things. But like I'm saying, if you change the channel, if you look through YouTube, there ain't nothing like that.
Yeah.
And it's not for me to promote that, oh, I'm so unique and I'm so lucky that I got, no, it's actually a glimpse in actually what's happening, so people can gain a perspective, much like my idea of standardizing these things to where good and bad, flip it on the other side. Oh, if you hear this commentary, it's because this person knows that it's customary to be like this, and they're showing you respect, and this is the way how you respond in kind, like if you know where you're coming from, because a lot of these things haven't been taught, and I
Yeah,
see it.
yeah.
And sometimes because you haven't been taught, that thing turns sour in you, and you actually gain a disdain for the things that are actually proper and right.
I learned electronics and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And then I learned I was a magnet and I have to embrace the physics I was taught. But all the time, like I said before, they didn't teach me biology.
Hmm?
They didn't tell me about my magnet.
Hmm?
And being trolled, again, benefits because that gives me, like, he'll attack the magnet. And I'll be like, well, in truth, these magnets are different. There's two of them that are man made on the chain. The rest of them are natural magnets. They're different hues, but they've got the same magnetic properties. If this neighbor isn't doing well, the entire chain could be doing better. Now we're all well.
I know you were intending for me to get any kind of information other than
And
what you just explained, but I'm gonna tell you what I just gained from that. What you just said, I didn't hear.
huh?
I saw something, an insight. It's not that we're being judgmental. It's that we want me and you to be doing better. And we can, and just like what you were saying, you were just explaining what you were explaining, but that's what I saw. It's not about being better or anything, and that's how you explain it, right?
It's about our neighbor being
These are
better.
man-made things, but look here in there. But like I said, I tuned out, and that's what I heard. I heard something completely different. Thank you for letting me sit here and explain that to you, because a lot of people think that I'm being mean to them by explaining, but you're a bit more like my friend too.
Well,
He
that's something I was fixing to state. Every time I do something different, it helps somebody different.
it's funny. This guy knows me so much, and I know him so much too, that I could see his eyes rolling when I was staring at the back of his head. And then and then in two, appreciating the fact that he's always been like this to me, and he means what he says what he means, and it's not specifically everything down the line we have to be, I know his opinion about everything like that. It's not. It's just like a free flowing
Yeah,
thing,
you learn every day.
and see that too. How the modern world, like I'm saying, all this stuff filtered, because I can see it in Fenty. Because you know why? I came from that, and how life was back then. That thing was applied to me, because oh, you didn't spend enough time out here. You're not this, but as you sit here listening to me, talking to me, if it was really that, and then a one-sided thing, cool.
If it
That's one
wasn't
version.
the fact that you haven't been out here, it's the fact that you don't know this word.
No, it's more
What
profound
I,
than that.
uh,
But yeah, but I see what you're saying, but what I'm saying is there's never been another version of that. Not necessarily to rebut what was said, or even in a derogatory manner, but just to allow the other person to see, like, oh, I see. Because if the in the derogatory and the negative was true, well, the truth is a weird thing.
mhm,
The truth you can have evidence of. This is
mhm,
just an opinion.
yeah. When you're in a debate,
Uh-huh.
the best insult does not trump truth. It's not an argument to sit here and say, "Oh no, you're just dumb." Well, bring the evidence to where I'm wrong first. And then we can discuss how much of a degree of a dumbass I am.
That's how I was telling my mom, my friends. People wouldn't even know the veneer of what they're looking at versus exactly where I've seen them because the decisions that they had to make like
Hmm.
that, or
I'm going to bring my best foot forward
fight or
on
flight.
stuff I can prove
Hmm?
and things that are theory. I If I can't prove it, bro, it's probably not real.
Things change over time too, like not necessarily your alliances, but how people kind of. What I used to say to people is like, I'll take my work with me, because I can do a lot in a day.
Mm.
And that's not boasting. My dads, my uncles, my grandfathers, they were doing it too, and then time passes and you're the one that's the strongest one just because,
I've walked off of jobs
Yeah.
and been working by lunch.
Yeah.
Although the last 2 weeks I haven't had no luck. Everybody wants my
I got to
fingerprint.
start putting that into here too. It's getting warm and stuff already. It's going to be 2 weeks, but
Yeah, I'm starting to think it's time to get some stuff in the dirt. We
yeah.
got some seeds sexing right now, going female.
Along those
Mike
lines,
does.
I have a sprouter. Take it.
Okay.
I'm not going to use it.
Okay.
I don't sprout my seeds. It's a
Well,
brand new one.
we're going to throw in 6 more for you.
Yeah. And I'll give you those things too. Is there a form I gotta pull out or just claim responsibility?
Yeah, just
If and when the time comes.
don't deny me.
Yeah.
When I call, I'll be like, 6 of these are Jamie. Jamie who?
Yeah.
Here, let's call him.
Call the dispenser to see if he got my info.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in here last. Still
It's
asking
none
for
of
his
his.
discount.
It's none of his business. It's legal. That's
That's what I
all.
was trying to tell these guys. They're in a bind. They're my friends. I can do things for them, but I won't do things with them. If you
Yeah.
can understand, they're still doing questionable stuff. But
Okay.
I think that's everybody. They can say that about me.
I can't judge about, dude. I'm ex junkie. I've shown you my collapsed vein.
Uh,
I did questionable shit for a long time. Fuck, and I learned from it. And anybody can come up out of that and learn something themselves. I ain't judging.
there's
I just it ain't
there's
for
some
me.
stories I
I
want to
get
do
it.
research for
They can be
because
friends.
I'm starting to understand that I've spent some time with very like my grandfather. He's our adopted grandfather. If you really want to get technical, he's not our real grandfather, but he gave us names and we spent time with him. And a lot of this what we live out here is common. It's not
Like his
really.
Aunt Angel. I'm adopted through his Aunt Angel's
Mhm.
mom.
But I spent time with them, and that perspective from them is like I'm saying what I was telling about my grandma. And the only reason I'm offering is because obviously I listen.
Mm.
So a lot of the things that are coming in my mind now are a lot of things from the past and the things he warned me what to watch out for. And just like my cousin too, his grandfather to be a chairman, and I spent time with him out there. Because wasn't lazy. I knew how to work cattle, knew how to ride a horse. All this
When he
other.
told you though, did you understand what he meant?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Just didn't have much reference for it,
you
I
get it.
suppose.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
understand what they're saying, but when you get older, you're like, ah,
I call that planting a seed.
yeah.
And
And
that
then
moment
and
is when the fertilizer hit it.
yeah, and then they say who, and then they give you a context. So when all those things you mature, you remember, and then you were like, wait a minute, then you do something about it.
Mhm. That's a very powerful thing, planting seeds.
Yeah.
Even if you feel like you're wasting your time with somebody, you're probably not.
That's in the sense of what I'm talking about, standardizing all these things that socially, that in my knowledge that people go through that I wish I had answers for, and trying to explain to the